Hey, De La Salle, my name is Jeremy Affeldt, and I want to thank you guys for doing what you're doing. I know that you have a lot of things that you guys can do, and you guys chose to be able to serve your community in ways when we can attack hunger, and I appreciate that. I want to share with you a little bit about why I even started Generation Alive in a short version story. I started Generation Alive solely pretty much for the reason of what happened to me when I got traded to Denver in 2006. I was actually not enjoying the game of baseball because I didn't know why I was doing it. I didn't have purpose. I didn't have a reason to play the game. I enjoyed the game, but you guys will find out as you get older and as you become leaders and men that you're going to have a reason to do what you do, whether it be playing pro sports or whatever business you're in or whatever job that you have. If you don't have purpose, it's going to be a very shallow time in your life. And I was starting to feel that way, and I got traded in 2006, and I was walking down the streets of Denver, getting to know the city a little bit. I didn't have a place to live as I had just gotten traded, and so I was living in a hotel, and you know, I was contemplating a little bit about why I was playing the game, and if I wanted to keep playing the game. I just got uprooted from a team that I had been with for a very long time, and now I'm with a new team, and I have to reprove myself, and I had to go through a lot of different scenarios. And so as I was contemplating whether I enjoyed the game or why I was playing it, I crossed the street on my way to Starbucks and to get some coffee, and there was a young lady there. She's about 16, 17 years old. And if any of you have ever been to Denver, downtown Denver, you'll notice that there are a lot of street kids there. There are a lot of kids that have run away from home or for whatever different reasons. They're living as a homeless teenager, and they congregate there, and they have their community there. And so this girl was sitting outside of a Rite Aid right next to Starbucks, and she was scared. She was about, like I said, she's about 16 or 17. She had ripped jeans, black eye, split lip. She had a really tough night the night before. You could tell she was trembling, and she was eating a cup of noodles with no water in it, just a dry cup of noodles, and just sitting there with her eyes down. And I reached down to touch her, and she shied away from me and kind of jumped away in fear. And I said, I don't want anything from you, and I don't want to do anything to you. I just want to know if you want something to eat. And she said, please. And I walked into Starbucks, and the first thing I asked for was the nutrient drink, that green, sludgy, gross-looking drink that you guys probably don't drink. It does taste good. It's good for you, but your age, I don't think I would have drank it either. But it had a lot of good nutrients in it. And then I said, I need something with a lot of sugar. And they gave me a blueberry muffin. And so I walked out, and I handed them to this young lady, and she ripped them from my hands and said, thank you. And for a moment, a split moment in time, you know, our eyes met. And when she said thank you, there were two things that happened to me. One, I actually understood where she was at, because as a baseball player, even though my clothes look different, and the job that I go to obviously looks a lot different than where she goes to work. She didn't have a job, and I'm in these baseball cathedrals and 50,000 people and all these different things, and obviously, you know, I had money, she didn't have money, so we have a lot of different things that maybe on the outside look a lot different, but on the inside we were both scared. I couldn't tell anybody that I didn't like Major League Baseball. Who would ever feel bad for a guy that doesn't like playing Major League Baseball, right? So I couldn't tell. You know, I was afraid to tell anybody where I was at in life. She was scared where she was at in life. She didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who to talk to. I was walking around the streets of Denver completely lost in my identity. She was walking around the streets of Denver completely lost in her identity. And so we were almost the same place. And when she said thank you to me, it wasn't just a simple thank you. It was a thank you that I exist. Because we've all done it. We will all continue to do it. You will do it. You will continue to do it. At times, you will walk by. You'll walk down the streets of San Francisco, or maybe in the streets of Walnut Creek, and you'll see a homeless person who's begging. And you'll get on your cell phone, and you'll fake a phone call, or you'll go on the other side of the street, or you'll just all of a sudden become selectively deaf, and you don't hear them. And you walk by them, and you don't act like they exist. And I understand that. But you know what? She needed someone to let her know she existed. And I think that's what the thank you meant to me when she said that, because she needed a lifeline, and I gave it to her, and I let her know that she was a human being. And I needed someone the same way. I needed to be able to talk to somebody to let them know that I'm a human being and that I'm feeling trapped and I don't know what life's like. But for that moment in time when she said thank you for letting me know I exist, I actually should have returned the thank you to let her know that she let me know I existed. Because for that moment in time, I went back to the baseball field and I sat in the bullpen, and I finally felt I had a purpose for doing what I was doing and playing baseball, and I had a platform. And that's why I started Generation Alive. I didn't start Generation Alive as a hunger initiative. I didn't start Generation Alive to be a human trafficking initiative. I started Generation Alive as an organization that wanted to build servant leaders. Leaders who act through service, through acts of compassion, not empathy. Empathy is feeling bad for somebody, which is good to do. It is good to say, man, I feel really bad. But what's even better is to say, I not only feel bad for you, I want to help you out. And I want to give you unconditional love. I want to give you love that basically says you've done nothing to me or for me. I just want to love you because you're a human being. And I think you, De La Salle, are doing those things. Right now, when you're joining me in the Hunger Initiative, you're saying to someone you've never met, I care about you as a human being, and I know that I want to love my neighbor as myself. On my left forearm, it says, no man shall live for himself. And I think that's what you as men are doing. You're not living for yourself. You're saying, I want to eat when I'm hungry, and I know there are a lot of people that are hungry, and they should be able to eat too. You guys are leaders, you're heroes, and you're doing it through acts of service, and I appreciate you for doing what you're doing. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day.